Don't forget, we are doing this for a concentration profile, right? You get this concentration profile after a fixed amount of diffusion time, which means you already know what your time t is. And let's say somehow you measure the concentration profile and it changes with location. Far away, on one side, the concentration is C1. Far away on the other side, the concentration is C2. Somewhere, that's what you choose. Arbitrary C, that's your concentration C. Small c, that's your locally the so-called diffusion coefficient given by this. Make sense? Now let's stare at this. Let's focus on this term. Integration x times dc from C1 to C. If you're going to do this integration, how are you going to do it? Well, it's x, right? If I have initial coordinate at here, x from here to here times what? A small dc, okay, add up. And going which way? Integration is going which way? Up or right? Your typical integration is going towards right? But here, because we are doing dc, c goes that way, this integration we are going up from C1 all the way to C, right? And as I draw in this area, the area would be positive or negative. In here where I'm pointing, x is positive or negative? Positive. dc is always positive, so here is positive area. But if I'm pointing to here, my incremental would be negative because local x would be what? Negative, but dc is still positive. So you see how it changes, right, when we do integration. But what you would find out is this integration term, the value of this integration term depends on the selection of origin. I want you to read this sentence again. The exact integration of this term depends where I choose my origin, whether it's here or here or here. C1 is fixed. Small c is fixed. But the exact value that I'm going to do integration depends on where I place my vertical or c-axis. Read that sentence to you again. The integration term from C1 all the way to C, from here to small c, depends on where I place my axis. Or put another way, where I choose as my zero of location. Let me give you one example. If I place it here, if I choose my c-axis here, which means I have very little of positive x. To the left side, it's all negative x, right? So my area would be kind of pretty much negative. On the other hand, if I choose all the way to here, all negative. But if I choose my c-axis very to the left, all my x would be what? Positive. Incremental c is positive, so my area would be positive. So you see, as I do this integration, you have to remember, integration essentially is a summation. It's just addition. Addition of what? Of each of these slice area. But depending on where I place my coordinate, the area can be positive, can be negative. If I choose my coordinate all the way towards very positive, all my area pretty much all negative. But in the end, the diffusion coefficient should not change from positive all the way to negative for the same concentration, right? You see the conflict here? So read this sentence to you again. The value of this integration term depends on the coordinate system that I choose. And there's only one proper placement that it will give it the correct value. Okay. The question is where? Where should we place the y or vertical axis? Where should I choose as my location 0? Okay. To solve that, people are very smart. Now people start to think of this term. What is this term? dx over dc. First, let me ask you, what is dc over dx? dc over dx is our so-called concentration gradient, our local slope. dx over dc is just the inverse of slope, right? Inverse of concentration gradient. Okay, do you see as if I do this integration, when c goes to c2, where is it? When c goes to c2, where is it? It goes to all the way to the very, very left. The differential term, all this inverse slope would approach what? Infinity. Make sense? When c goes towards c2, when goes towards very, very left, my local slope is what? 0. But my inverse, remember dx over dc is the inverse of slope. If my slope is 0, my inverse of slope goes towards infinity. This guy goes towards infinity. Okay, so as a result, this kind of related to the boundary condition. When local dc over dx goes to 0, that means my inverse goes to infinity, and if the second, the blue term, can go to infinity, but our diffusion coefficient, is that an infinite number? No, right? Diffusion coefficient is always a, read to yourself, it's always a finite number. It's actually a small number, right? So in order for the product to be a finite number, one term is going towards infinity, the other term has to go towards what? 0. Make sense? The selection, read this sentence to yourself. The selection of the coordinate should be that somehow when c goes towards c2, the total integration must go towards 0. Make sense? Because when I'm looking at here, the diffusion coefficient cannot be infinite, but one term is going towards infinity, so the other term has to go towards 0. My chosen coordinate, my chosen origin has to make the total area 0. I'll put it that way. I'm pointing, if I'm here, I put it here. Where I'm pointing, my area is positive or negative? Positive. But if I'm pointing here, my integration, local integration area would be negative. Somehow, when I place it, the positive area would be equal to the negative area, roughly. Positive area here would be equal to negative area. From whatever this point all the way to the limit. From whatever this point all the way to the other limit. Right? One limit is C1, the other limit is C2. The area, negative area where I'm pointing, should be equal to the positive area I'm pointing now. The area to the right side equals the area to the left side. Make sense? Remember, we are doing integration in here. DC is upward, not towards right. It's upward. Okay, so that's kind of like graphically you can do that. Once you have this curve, you can roughly place, okay, this should be my origin, which left area equals right area, or positive area equals negative area. Make sense? Because if I'm pointing towards here, my x would be negative, but DC term is always positive. So the area here is negative, the area here is positive. Okay, so that way we can choose or determine that coordinate, and that particular location people call it a Matano interface. Matano interface. And that Matano interface has some implication, and we'll briefly talk about them here. And again, this is something for you to read and digest. The first one is kind of a average position. The chosen so-called Matano interface, where you put as your 0 for location, is a kind of an average location with respect to concentration. If the Cx is a invertible, which means from Cx where I can get Xc, it's invertible. It's just the kind of a average in between. Okay, that's one way to view it. Or view another way, it's an interface that the total, read to yourself, the total amount of atoms going lost on one side would be equal to the total amount of atoms gained on the other side of the interface. I have diffusion, and they may not be completely balanced, but whatever lost on one side would be gained on the other side. Okay? And there's another one, which is to say the interface at which equal amount have crossed in both directions. And I think